welcome to YouTube as well. Thank you for joining us and watching this video. Unfortunately, I started the recording a little bit late. You've missed all you've really missed is a guided lap of the track. In fact, let's just bring up the track again. Cut my ugly face out. And also, big announcement for all of you sitting at home who are enjoying these streams. You're about to get more of them because we've just basically signed up to do the broadcasting for Shakedown Sim Racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and that will be on Tuesday nights. So make sure you hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button if you really want to, and join us on Tuesday night for the first of our broadcasts for Shakedown Racing. Very excited for that. I'm very excited to get back into Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's a fantastic game. It's gone through a lot of updates, and it is quite simply the best racing simulator out there, in my opinion. Of course, that's going to vary from person to person. Looking at the times tonight, though, it's, as ever, really close with the field. So the top six separated by half a second. That is damn close, and it's only going to get tighter as we jump into qualifying and sandbags begin to come off. So, yeah. Inside Focus, how excited am I for Monza on Wednesday? Not very, because I'm off the pace. Dave? Well and truly off the pace. Alien times are about 47s around there, and I am doing 48s. I am not going to have a good time on Wednesday night. That's okay. I race for fun. Because I'm always racing for fun when I'm off the pace. That's just how it is. Anyway, a few drivers to keep an eye on tonight. Stephen Marsden. He's out there tonight. 4th place at the moment on the timing screens. So that is going to be interesting to watch him carve through the field tonight and battle with Monroe and Cotto. Daniel Cicluna, we saw him on Friday night along with Binomial Eagle, and also Fergo and Ryan Norridge as well. We saw them on Friday night with the GT Club Ford Focus Super Cup with GT Club. Very tough racing for those guys then. Cicluna probably getting the better position, better finishing position. As we focus on Cicluna now, running second in race number 2. He was probably one of the only drivers that kept our eventual race winner. Let me just try and find out who that was. I know who it was, I just can never remember his name. Amashiro, that's right. We'll see if Cicluna can keep Monroe and Cotto honest tonight. In fact, as the checkered flag is out, we're going to quickly start a prediction, nice and early. What do you guys reckon is the time? The pole time will be tonight. There's a prediction. Is it going to be a sub 1:16.5, or do you reckon it's going to be over 1:16.5? Make sure you get those predictions in. Get some channel points up. Have a bit of fun. And we'll find out where we end up with the poll time in a few minutes' time. As we're waiting for the last few drivers to come across the line, we got Dylan Woods and It's Boris. Good to see It's Boris is back tonight. He had a bit of a struggle a week ago at Highland Short. Certainly a huge learning curve for Boris. Hopefully he's a little bit more prepared tonight. Hopefully the sandbags come off It's Boris to in time for qualifying. As Dylan Woods crosses the line, he sets a 1:24.315 that lap. Obviously not a brilliant lap for him, but let's run through the times in practice. So Chris Monroe, as ever, at the top with a 1:16.802, a mere 0.016 faster than Matt Cotto. So it's the usual suspects at the top of the timing boards. And we have Tyler Craig, our normal co-commentator, and he's decided to jump out there and have a race tonight. I'm seeing a lot of people going for, it's going to be over 1:16.5 for qualifying. I have a feeling I'm going to claim some channel points back. Just saying. Anyway, Steve Marsden in 4th, James Cicluna 5th, Binomial Eagles, or Steve Duro in 6th. Then we have Fergo, Matty Richards, Ryan Norridge, and Shane Poole rounding out the top 10. Over the page, we then have Johnny Eaton, Matt Double, Jai Rata, Dylan Woods, Jack Ferguson, Damon McIntosh, It's Boris, and then Josh Hill, who just joined the server a few seconds ago and did not set a lap. Interesting to see that 3 of you reckon it's not going to be faster than 1:16.5. I have a feeling that the one viewer, which is Ruka, he's bet 100 of his Go races to on a sub 1:16.5 as we start qualifying for the final round of the AK Racing Mini Can-Am Street Fires, and has been an awesome series. We've had some very exciting bins. Had a few golden bins, had a few double bins and triple bins. But tonight we wrap it up and then we reset to go V8 supercar racing with AK Racing again. Are Chris and Matt sandbagging again? Dave, you know the answer to that question. Why do you ask such silly questions? The sandbags are now off, for sure. Cray Tay 94. Good luck to everyone again tonight. Excited to watch the races. Go Dylan Woods, Jai Rata, and It's a Boris. Oh, we have people who are going off everywhere. I think just drivers trying to find some space on track. Lots of drivers on track tonight. We have 17 cars racing tonight. Ignore that 18th slot. That is the broadcaster car. As Johns starts his first flying lap, we're going to jump on board with him actually. We're not going to get any split data, but we'll bring up the sectors anyway. As everyone's moving around everywhere on that timing tree on the left-hand side there. As Johns brings it up towards turn number 4. And just get rotated. Doesn't use all the space. I think Johns is just going for a banker lap nice and early. That's probably the strategy I would opt for at the moment, but he is being tailed very closely by Matt Cotto. Cotto very familiar with this track. Of course, V8 Supercars in AK Racing. Coming here several times as Johns will run very wide. I think he'll just keep it on the track. I don't know if that lap is going to be valid, but either way, Matt Cotto will now be the first person to set a lap time. Thank you to Chorus AU for the follow. Just short of being follower number 350. That honour is V is for Voodoo. Yeah, so shout out to V is for Voodoo a second time. 350th follower. Thank you very much. Anyway, Matt Cotto will set the first flying lap, and it is a 1:17.3, so a bit of a banker lap there for Matt Cotto. Maybe a little bit distracted by Johns just ahead of him. Johns will go into second with a 1:20.2. He'll have to improve on that one. Steve Duro straight away, 18.2, and he's eclipsed by Stephen Marsden with a 1:17.8. Matty Richards with a 1:17.7. He goes to second now. Fergo slides up into 5th, and we have Dylan Woods in 8th. John Eaton now into 7th with a 1:20.766. And Daniel Cicluna with a 1:17.9. He goes provisional 4th at the moment. As we stick with Matt Cotto, It's a Boris into the top 10 at 1:28.7. But we're still waiting for Chris Monroe, Damon McIntosh, Tyler Craig, Ferguson, Hill, Poole, Norwich, and Rata to set a lap time, although Rata off the track by the looks of things. As Matt Cotto now purple second sector as he comes up towards the stadium section. really on the limiter as he downshifts. Josh Hill now into 6th place with an 18.4. Into the final corner for Matt Cotto. Poole slots it into 6th place with an 18.2. As Cotto now. Haven't got a prediction time yet, but he goes fastest with a 16.9. Steve Duro, he's got a purple second sector as well, almost by a 10th. He slots up into second. He immediately eclipses Chris Monroe, who went second temporarily with a 17.5. So plenty of time left on the board there for Chris Monroe. We saw him do a sub 1:17 in practice. Matty Richards now up into 3rd. Matt Cotto now purple first sector. We've also got some personal best coming in from Daniel Cicluna and Shane Poole. Ryan Norridge up into 7th. And Chris Monroe also setting a purple first sector. We'll ride on board now with Chris Monroe as he tips it through the follow-through at the back of the circuit. Oh, gets a little bit of understeer. That's going to cost him a little bit. Lap time predictor not playing the game at the moment. Now there's the Delta. Matt Cotter still purple in all 3 sectors. Chris Monroe still purple in all 3 sectors as well. We know that Monroe, he's got plenty of time left in that mini. As I think he's just behind Steve Duro at the moment. Still waiting for Matt Cotter to cross the line. Oh, there we go, 16.922, so Matt Cotter improves. And Chris Monroe improves to 17.017. He goes into 3rd with 9.5 minutes left on the board. Now, Tyler Craig, he's improved in all sectors, but he's down by a 10th, and he goes straight up into 4th. And Cotter still going faster. Another purple sector for Matt Cotter, although he's only ahead by absolute smallest of margins. Marsden also slightly slower, 0.010 slower than Matt Cotter in the first sector. So he tips it through the follow-through at the back of the circuit. And Matt Cotter improving. He's almost 2/10 up on his own personal best. Might just swap over to Matt Cotter. In fact, he has binned it. And that's looking like as if it's in the stadium section. So, and he rejoins. I don't know who that was. It was Steve Duro right behind him. So Duro might be a little bit frustrated by that. And again, Cotter almost getting in the way of Duro. It hasn't really thrown Steve Duro. He's on for a 1:19.97, and he does not improve. Oh, hang on. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. The last one was a 17.035, so maybe just put off a little bit by Matt Cotter recovering in front of him. We're seeing some time starting to come in at the midfield. John Eaton, he goes up into 11th, and I reckon he's got a little bit more pace to find in the number 2 mini. Of course, these guys all on a fixed setup. The only thing they can change are tyre pressures. And I think that's it. I don't think they can change anything with brake bias or anything like that. Cars are very basic. Really does come down to the driver. Car's naturally a little bit unstable as well because of just how small the wheelbase and wheel track are. Norwich looking like as if he's improving as well. Eaton, he's not going to improve this lap either. We'll swap over to Chris Monroe. We'll see what he can do. It's a 1:17.8. So he must have lost a heap of time going through the final sector. I think they can adjust the gear ratios as well. Okay, there you go. Full of information here. We've still got 6.5 minutes left to go, and Matt Cotter, well, if Ruka's going to get any points back, he's going to hope that Cotter can pick up 0.4 of a second within the next 6 minutes. But let's have a quick look at the times up and down the field. So the top three, absolutely nothing between them. Less than a tenth actually between Cotto, Duro and Chris Monroe. We continue to focus on Chris Monroe. The delta improves only temporarily though. Then we got a bit of a gap to Tyler Craig, Matty Richards, Stephen Marsden. They're all separated. Absolutely nothing between those guys as well. Daniel Cicluna, he's got a lot of improvement to make as well. And Josh Hill as well. Shane Poole, absolutely nothing between those three. So it looks like as if the field is sort of separating themselves into groups of three. And, well, I mean, of course, qualifying and racing, two different things. And then we go all the way down to Boris, 125.6 for him. So he's got a lot of improvement to make. He's got room for it. Anyway, let's bring up our sector times again, just in time because Matt Cotter, he is up by 0.2 of a second on the delta. I think he's got Steve Duro just behind, so he's getting dragged along by Matt Cotter. And oh, someone lost it right in front of Matt Cotter. And the predictor showing he's on for a 1:16.8 as he tips it into the stadium section. He finds the wall. That's going to cost him a few tenths. In fact, he is bailing out of that lap. Let's check out Steve Duro, see how he goes. He goes top of the timesheets with a 1:16.895. So Steve Duro, provisional pole for now. But wouldn't be counting your chickens too early. Cotter and Monroe can find something in these cars. Checking with Ryan Norwich, he's actually improving as well. He's 0.6 down on Steve Duro's lap though, coming through the second sector. As he tips it into the stadium section, runs a little wide, finds the wall. Hasn't affected him too badly by the looks of things. He's pressing on. He's looking to get into the 17s on this lap. In fact, he might do better than a 17. Not quite. So Norwich still trying to find some improvement out of that car. We'll check in with Tyler Craig. He's also on an improvement. Looking at the first sector. Oh, almost losing it on the exit curb. Come through the follow through. And Daniel Cicluna now up into fourth at 1:17.087. So Cicluna, he's now joining the party for the front row. And Chris Monroe, he's actually up in, I think that is the second sector by nearly 0.2 of a second. He is on for a 1:16, but I think he may have been balked ever so slightly by another driver out there. So he stays third. And checking with Fergo, he's on a personal best. Only a 10th down on Steve Duro. And now only 0.4 down. So this is looking like a strong lap time for Fergo. He's up by nearly 0.7 of a second on his own delta down the right-hand corner, but he just gets it wrong through the stadium section on his way up towards the final corner. Carries a little bit more mid-corner pace, but that's cost him. And he's only looking at a 1:18.2 now. So Fergo unable to improve. Chris Monroe, purple first sector. Purple second sector, I should say. As he rounds the stadium section on his way to the final corner. As he tips it around the final corner. Fires it down the front straight. He's looking to get into the 16s. He should get into the 16s. He does, a 16.954. But he'll want more out of that car for sure. Marsden now, purple first sector. As he tips it through the flip-flop. We have one car taking the escape road there. Marsden, he loses 0.3 on Steve Duro. Can he get it rotated? He does. Right on board with Marsden as he finishes this lap up towards the final corner. Gets the car nicely to the apex and gets good drive out of the final corner. It's not going to be enough though, 17.4. It does push him up to 6th though, and displaces Matty Richards down to 7th. In fact, Steve Duro, he thinks he's done enough. He's actually boxed the car, put it in the garage. Oh, maybe not, because Matt Cotto is improving. Up by nearly 2/10. Hard on the brakes for the stadium. Crashes over the curb. That's actually hurt him a little bit. He was 2/10 up on his own personal best. Oh, he grabs the grass on the entry into the final corner, and that will throw that lap away. He may get one more lap in. He does get one more lap in. So Matt Cotto will have one last chance. We're going to stay on board with Matt Cotto as he fires it down the front straight through turn 1. Absolutely flat. On the limiter for turn number 1. No, sorry, turn 2. Backs it in, grabbing the grass. Matt Cotto driving at full commitment right now. He's down on Cotto. Oh, sorry, on Duros, I mean. Now through the follow-through. Grabs the curb on the left. Misses the curb on the right. That's helped him, though. Monroe is actually 2/10 up on Steve Duro, and Cotto has binned it. So we'll jump over to Chris Monroe. He's actually looking good for a 16.8. He might displace Matt Cotto on the front row. Oh, he's got good drive out of the final corner now. It's going to be a 16.7. He goes pole. Oh, what a lap from Chris Monroe. He snipes it on the last lap. So Chris Monroe, he is your pole sitter. I can't see anyone else improving at the moment. So check it to Boris. See if he can improve on his own lap time. He has done a personal best in Sector 2. But at the moment, the pole time is a 16.8. As Boris rotates the car out of the final corner. Doesn't quite get the best exit. And he will stop the clock at 1:23.207. He'll be happy with that, I think. Anyway, there's some channel points for some of you out there. We'll also start a new prediction. We'll make this a little bit different because turn 1 isn't actually a turn. But there's the new prediction. Are we going to have a clean turn number 2? So let's run through the starting order for race number 1. Chris Monroe leads the way with a 16.808. He just pips Steve Duro by less than 1/10 of a second. It is really close with the top 4. In fact, the top 5 really less than 5/10 separating them. Matt Cotto and Daniel Cicluna will make up row number 2. Row 3, Tyler Craig and Steve Marsden. Matty Richards and Joshua Hill off of row 4. Row 5, we have Shane Poole and Johnny Eaton. Over the page, we then have Ryan Norridge and Fergo. Row 7, Damon McIntosh and Johns. Out of 15 will be Dylan Woods. Jack Ferguson out of 16th. Jai Rada and Itza Boris rounding out the runners tonight. Haven't seen an appearance from Matt Double, Metamonon, Kenaway or Anthony Cezana. Bit of a shame, and of course we know that Justin Redix is currently sitting in chat feeling sorry for himself. Well, anyway, get ourselves set up for a start with our drone camera. I'm a little bit surprised with you, Dave. You've got no faith in your own league. They've been well behaved, I have to say, in previous races. So we're about to finish up the prediction. Anyway, we are ready for a start. We have 40 seconds. So let's try and pick a winner out of this one. It's going to be very, very difficult. In the past, we've sort of said, yes, it will be this person, but then we find that person actually has a bit of a shocking race. Of course, these street circuits, zero room for error. I think it's going to be hard to go past Matt Cotto in this race. My dark horse, I'm going to pick Josh Hill to be my dark horse tonight as we get set for a start. As the lights begin to flick on, we have 6 lights on. 6 lights out, we are away and racing. That is a massive jump start from the yellow Mini there. I don't know who that was. They were off the 4th row of the grid. As we're going to fly our drone camera to turn number 2 and see if we can have a clean turn 2. Everyone's behaving themselves. They spread out. We're 4, 5, 6 cars wide in some places. A little bump, little slide, 1 car around. No, we have not had a clean turn 2. Oh, it's absolute carnage. As there we go. Have some points back there, Dave. Hate it when I'm proven wrong. And it is Daniel Cicluna who has taken the whole shot. I don't know who it was that jumped the start. It looks like it may have been Matty Richards. So, oh no, my dark horse has absolutely, he's been given the commentator's curse. But, Daniel Cicluna with the whole shot. And he leads the way ahead of Chris Monroe. And Steve Juro looking around the outside into the stadium section. They're starting to gap Matt Cotto a little bit. Juro looking for a better drive out of the first hairpin into towards the final corner. And he closes right up on the back of Chris Monroe. We're right on board now with Steve Juro. In fact, we got a decent battle down here. Rata and Woods there, they're sort of dropping through the field. Rotate around turn number 2 as Monroe and Juro are starting to close the gap on Cicluna. Oh, Cotto was all over the back of Juro then. He almost touched actually. Oh, it's a Boris. He's had a good start, but he's thrown it away. We tip it through the back chicane. Now leaders 1, 2, 3, nose to tail. 3, 4, sorry, nose to tail. And we have a decent little battle brewing here for 5th place. Tyler Craig leading the charge for these guys. He's got Steve Marsden looking up the inside into the stadium. Craig will give him some space, gives him a lot of space. And that's going to leave him vulnerable for Shane Poole to have a look, but he'll be on the wrong side of the circuit. And I think that Craig should hold on to the position, but Poole's not going to let it go easily. And, well, Tyler Craig holds on to 6th. But Poole will have the slipstream. Fastest lap of the race, incidentally. Daniel Cicluna, a 17.6. So here comes Shane Poole. Oh, we got Monroe and Juro going side by side into turn number 2. And Juro's still looking. He's on the wrong side of the track. He may try for a switchback. He's got to be mindful of Cotto. Swap over to Cotto, who's had a really terrible run through turn 5, I think I want to say. So we tip it through the follow through. And this battling between Juro and Monroe is just working out for Cicluna. Now, bad run for Monroe. That will give Juro the position and track position as we head into the stadium section. But geez, Monroe, he is confident on the brakes. And Cotto with an absolute textbook maneuver. Freight training Monroe. Monroe in one corner will go back down to fourth, but he fights back immediately and retakes third from Matt Cotto. So Monroe with the elbows out doesn't want to drop off the podium. He's going to go side by side down the front straight with Matt Cotto as we head through turn number one. They're still side by side. Can Cotto do it? They're going to remain side by side, but now Cotto, he's just going to have to file in behind Chris Monroe. He's still trying to pressure him. Absolutely sends it around the outside. Well, they don't call him the torpedo for nothing. Manages to keep the car off the wall. Oh, he just grabs the grass coming through the follow-through and again on the exit. I'm going to have to start a new prediction, I think. So, and this one's going to be relevant because of the people that we are watching. Who is going to finish higher? Is it going to be Matt Cotto or is it going to be Chris Monroe? Just as I start that prediction, Matt Cotto now makes the move on Monroe, but Monroe again fires it up the inside and just parks that Mini on the apex, but he doesn't get a strong exit this time, and Matt Cotto, will retake third position. These guys are just going toe-to-toe with each other. It's like watching two boxers trading punches with each other. It's Cotto now temporarily up into third. Monroe trying to send it around the outside. And what this is doing is helping Marsden and Craig close the gap up. Just see Marsden just lurking in the background there. And he's dragging Tyler Craig with him. Oh no, Cyclona has been, oh my gosh! Oh no, that is an absolute bin. At least 3 bins there. Oh man, so Cyclona, he has absolutely thrown away a comfortable lead. And in the process, it has hurt Matt Cotto. Luckily, no one's actually put in any predictions yet for between Matt Cotto and Chris Monroe. I think we'll start seeing some bets coming in now. There's Chris Monroe up into second. And he has got a decent gap between himself and Matt Cotto. Anyway, we're about to look at Tyler Craig. He's had a strong start. He's just sort of holding station at the moment. In fourth place, just a little over a second behind Stephen Marsden. Marsden, he's making sure that Monroe's looking in the mirror. We'll be seeing a lot of these guys in the next season of the AK Racing. Oh no, who was that? That was Marsden. It's just about to look down and have a look at some entries for the V8 Supercar League. And Marsden, he's dropped it off the track at the follow through. And I think he may have a fair bit of damage. He's not really recovering very quickly. We look at Fergo, who's actually had a really strong start. We'll have a quick look at some of the progression. So Johns and Fergo, they have been the movers and shakers in this race. One of the biggest losers has been Josh Hill, who is actually a DNF. I think he may have been caught up in that turn 2 carnage. Oh, Johns, he's been turned around by the looks of things, and he rejoins safely. We've rejoined the front of the field. Dan Cyclona now back onto the podium ahead of Tyler Craig. Seeing some lonely drivers out there as well. Field's starting to spread out. Actually check in with Steve Marsden as he looks around the outside of Damon McIntosh through the back flip-flop. Good battle brewing here for the recovering Steve Marsden. He thinks about the move. He's showing the nose. In fact, McIntosh almost makes that a little bit too easy for Marsden. Matt Cotto fastest lap of the race is 17.076, so Matt Cotto is coming back. And Marsden, he now finally gets the move to stick around the outside at the final corner. Now Tyler Craig with everyone's worst nightmare. Matt Cotto right behind, and Cotto pressuring him into a mistake, and Matt Cotto is through for fourth. Right on board now with Matt Cotto. Next car on his list is Daniel Cicluna. I have a feeling that is the lap car of Dylan Woods just ahead. So, as we tick off another lap, 9 minutes 20 left in this first race tonight. Don't forget, we have got a reverse grid race 2 coming up as soon as this race is over. We've also got a battle brewing for 10th place. Johnny Eaton and Stephen Marsden. Marsden actually, has he dropped back? No, he hasn't. Well, Marsden, he is on a charge again. Looking for a move up the inside of Eaton, going through turn number 1, flat out, side by side. In fact, he's already got the move done before the braking zone, and Steve Marsden will move back into 11th place. Definitely out of position. We'll have to try and keep an eye on what happened there in the replay. So we got a good battle brewing here. Virgo and Tyler Craig. I think Tyler Craig may have been held up by a lap car. That would be Dylan. I want to say that's Dylan Woods. And then we have it's a Boris. And 17th at the moment. Anyway, Cicluna now. He is now under attack from Matt Cotto. We look out the rear window of Cicluna. So Cotto tucked into the slipstream. Are we going to see a send? Yes, we are. And that was a very late move from Cotto, but it actually pays off for him. But he's vulnerable into turn number 4 at Cicluna deciding deciding on discretion, being the better part of valor. Good to see we're starting to get a few more fans of individual drivers appearing in chat. See a few Woods fans in there and Rada fans. Fortunately, you guys are having a bit of a struggle in their first appearance in the Street Fighters. Still, they're tough cars to get used to, that's for sure. I'll have a look at some lap pace between Chris Monroe and Matt Cotto as soon as they cross the line. So 17.6, 17.7 for Chris Monroe, and we'll check on the lap time for Matt Cotto, 17.4. So Cotto is marginally quicker, at least on that lap, and he's got 6.5 minutes left of this race. So that's about that should be about 6 laps left. I think he's sort of got to hope for a bit of a miracle. I'll tell you what, he's dragging Cicluna with him. We've got a little battle brewing here as well between Tyler Craig, Fergo and Shane Poole, just holding station in 7th place, just about a second off the back of Fergo. As Fergo clatters over the curbs. Eaton and Johns also battling away down 11th and 12th. Eaton just getting in front of Johns just as we were talking about this battle here between Craig, Fergo and Poole. So, as the time continues to tick down the centre of our screen, just a little over 5 minutes left to run. Your leader is still Steve Duro ahead of Chris Monroe. In fact, let's find our leader, Steve Duro, just as we tune in on him. He goes clattering over the curbs through the follow-through. Duro will be hoping for a bit of a better night tonight. He had an absolute nightmare of an evening with GT Club on Friday night in the Ford Focuses. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for Duro on Friday night. Two spins, even getting a golden bin. I think Duro would have been very excited to have gotten out of that server. We're sort of trying to keep a bit of an eye on the gap between Cotto and Monroe. Came down briefly to 3 seconds, but Cotto has lost a lot of time just in the last couple of seconds. As Duro puts a lap down. I want to say that was Jai Rata. So Rata, first appearance, at least on our streams. Don't know if he's actually raced anything else in AK racing, but he's out there having a go tonight. And doing a very good job of just staying out of the way of our leaders. As Chris Monroe goes flying past him. Matt Cotto, fastest lap of the race, 16.9. So Cotto in 3rd place. Maybe a case of too little too late at this point. Although we say that, but just one little mistake from Monroe and Cotto will be all over it. So Rada just sidesteps Cotto at the last second. Just before the follow through. In fact, Rada off the track. He's binned it. And he rejoins nice and safely. Excellent work there. Very easy to make an unsafe rejoin. Anyway, let's have a look at a decent battle that's brewing here. John's looking up the inside of Eaton. Can't quite get the move done for now. I think he's doing everything right at the moment. He's not trying to push too hard. These two have been glued to each other's rear bar. Well, to their bumpers, I should say. Pretty well since the start of this race. A little intermission as Marsden went flying past both of them. tip in through the final corner again. Eaton just doing everything right. He's just hitting his lines. It doesn't look as though he's too worried about the driver behind him. That's exactly what you need to do in these situations. Just focus on your lines. Although these guys have got to keep in mind that Damon McIntosh is sitting in a good position just behind them in 13th. Just see him flash through the bottom of our screen there. He's a little bit faster than both these two guys. Oh, big slide for Johns through the follow through. Manages to gather it up. Of course, front wheel drive cars. Get sideways, just turn in the opposite direction. Plant the foot. That's all you need to do. As we now get confirmation that our leader, Steve Duro, is on his final lap as he makes his way through the follow through. Goes flying past a lap car. And this has just been another brilliant drive for Steve Duro. He sort of played the patience game really well. Waited for the drivers ahead of him to make slight errors. First was Monroe and Cotto, then Cicluna made an error. And that has handed Steve Duro another easy win. Chalk another one up for the Eagle. He's flying high again. Steve Duro, the winner of race number 1 tonight. And back down in second, we have Chris Monroe. Matt Cotto will cross the line in third. So sorry to everyone who put their money on Cotto. It is indeed Chris Monroe who finishes higher. Oh, we have one car absolutely revving the guts out of their car. See if anyone's doing any reverse donuts. Not quite. As the field starts to cross over the line. This battle is not over between Eaton and Johns. Johns may go for a send here. Doesn't. Thinks better of it. He looks for a better drive out of the final corner. In fact, Johns might have it. Not quite. I think he just gave up a little bit there. And that is the end of race number 1. As we look at our drivers celebrating with style. We have a full send there. That is beautiful. Right, let's have a look at the final finishing order for race number 1. So Steve Duro, the winner of race number 1, ahead of Chris Monroe. Another masterclass drive from Steve Duro. Matt Cotter in third, Daniel Cicluna in fourth, Tyler Craig 5th. Then we move on to Shane Poole, Fergo, Ryan Norridge, Matty Richards and Steve Marsden. Semi-decent recovery for Marsden. Also, we will start a new prediction. Are we going to have a clean turn 2 in race number 2? Over the page, we've got Johnny Eaton and Johns in 11th and 12th. Damon McIntosh in 13th. Jai Rata in 14th. Dylan Woods 15th. Jack Ferguson 16th. Itza Boris 17th. And then Josh Hill, I believe he was a DNF, but he is back in the servo ready for race number 2. So let's get our drone camera in position for race number 2. So quickly just swap over to there it is. So guess we'll have to have a think about who the driver of the race was for that one. Well, I'm glad to see that Matty Richards, he jumped the start, but he still managed to creep into the top 10. And he did that very much under the radar, so well done to Matty Richards here. Kept the dark horse prediction from me alive. So I think Shane Poole is another driver who's just sort of flown under the radar a bit, and he managed to finish in 6th. I think it's hard to go past Steve Duro. He was very quick, played the patience game in the opening half of that race, and it's paid off for him. We'll see if he can do it again in race number 2 from the back of the grid. Seeing a few people betting big. Thank you, Kibbs. Appreciate the follow. So as we are set for a start for race number 2, let's have a look at how they line up. Joshua Hill and Itza Boris will start off the front row. Row number 2 will be Jack Ferguson, Dylan Woods, Jai Rada and Damon McIntosh off of row 3. Row 4, Johns and Johnny Eaton. Those two will be resuming their battle after race number 1. Row 5, we have Marsden and Matt Richards. Row 6, Ryan Norwich and Fergo. Row 7, Shane Poole, Tyler Craig, Dennis Lecluna and Matt Cotto off of row 8. And off the back of the grid will be Chris Monroe and Steve Duro. Let's hope we have a clean turn number 2 as we get set for a start. With 15 seconds left on the clock, the lights are up and ready to slide up and unleash the buzzing hornets of the Mini Can-Ams. As we have 6 lights on. 6 lights out, we are away and racing, and it's a Boris darting to the left-hand side of the circuit. He wasn't able to beat Josh Hill as we fly down the front straight. In fact, we have carnage already. Oh, carnage before turn number 1. Forget turn number 1, turn 2. We didn't even have a clean turn 1. That was the easiest. Corner, they're still going in the background as the rest of the field... How do I judge that one? Do I say that was a clean turn 2? Because technically that was a clean turn 2. Anyway, it is Josh Hill with a clear whole shot advantage. He gets it wrong through the follow through, and Tyler Craig with an almighty start. He is all the way up to 2nd. We'll check his progress. He is up 12 positions, and we haven't even gotten past the first lap. So great job from Tyler Craig. Matt Cotto also up to 5th. As we have someone who has binned it ahead. And that was Dylan Woods. Oh, it's a Boris has found the fence. Oh, Dylan Woods has been turned. Oh, who was that just turned Dylan Woods? He recovers. Oh, we have more carnage. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, it's still going on. Car's trying to turn around and it's starting to look a little bit more like Wreckfest again. But gee, 1 lap. That was all it took for drivers like Tyler Craig, Matt Cotto and Steve Duro, to get into the top 4. Duro up an amazing 14 positions on 1 lap. So Cluna up 9 positions. Where is Chris Monroe? He is up 6 positions in 11th. Clean turn 2, because yeah. I mean, technically, you're right, Snipster. It was a clean turn 2. I mean, you know what? Yep. We're just gonna have to go. We're just gonna have to go with that. The wording. Yeah, have some points. Oh, we have cars still going off. That's Damon McIntosh, who was around in the follow through. Oh, here we go. Battle for the lead now. Josh Hill, he is now under pressure from Tyler Craig. Look out the back of Hill's car now. You're having a really bad night, Justin, by the way. Couldn't make the race. You just lost 500 points. Steve Duro, fast lap of the race, 18.010. So we head through turn 2 to start another lap. Craig is looking very racy at the moment. The high beams are on. And just behind we see Matt Cotto flying up behind these guys as well. His headlights ablaze as well. Through the follow through. Oh, Craig probing for a move on Hill. He can't quite get it done in the back chicane. And again, Hill, he's making that mini, amazing as it sounds, he's making this mini very, very wide at the moment. Craig just not able to find a hole in the defences of Hill. He tries to carry a bit more mid-corner speed and get the drive off the final corner. Matt Cotto is in a really good position at the moment. He's right behind these guys. Fastest lap for him, 17.013. So he is flying. And he's got a double slipstream down the front straight. He's going up the inside of Craig. He may even go for the inside of Hill as well. Hill gives him space. They almost touch. They're almost 3 wide actually out of the exit of turn 2. But Hill manages to retain the lead of the race. And oh, he finds the fence. That's going to be an easy position for Matt Cotto. So Matt Cotto now takes the lead of the race. But he's still got Tyler Craig right on the back of him. Are we going to see a send into the back chicane? Not quite. Oh, Craig looking for a good exit. He almost slingshot right up the inside of Cotto. Almost parked that mini in the back of the number 6. Now into the stadium section. He runs very deep. This will give an opportunity to Hill. You see Chris Monroe is starting to make his way through the field. He's got Marsden on the back of him. They've just traded positions. And we'll start a new prediction for you as well. Who is going to finish higher? Just trying to pick 2 drivers at the moment. It's very, very difficult. I think we'll go Marsden and Josh Hill. So get your prediction in, get some channel points happening. Who's going to finish higher between Steve Marsden and Josh Hill? Marsden just a little over 7 seconds behind Hill. So we've got a little battle here. Oh, look at this. Norwich looking up the inside of Fergo into the stadium section. He fires up the inside. He gets it done cleanly. Ever so slight contact there. Almost escorts Fergo into the fence. And now this 3-way battle between Eaton, Norwich and Fergo continues. Also got a little battle down in 15th, 14th, Poole and McIntosh. Oh, Norwich just poking the nose, just showing the nose to Eaton into turn number 2. jump on board with Fergo as he's watching this battle for 8th place. In fact, we'll jump on board with Norwich because he is right up close. He's going for a send into the back chicane. And that was beautifully executed, but he gets a bad run. Compromised his exit. This might give Eaton a chance to run back at him going into the stadium. As Eaton might go for a dive bomb, but instead it's Fergo who thinks about the dive bomb. Norwich runs wide, and that gives the position back to Eaton. And Fergo almost getting up the inside of Norwich as well, but he just grabbed too much curb, and that destroyed all his momentum. And now again we have a big dive from Norwich around the outside. Eaton forces him to go the long way around. Norwich, he gets good drive out of turn number 2 and he takes back that position. Wonderfully done there from Ryan Norwich. He read it pretty damn well. And he relegates Eaton back down to 9th. Fergo now looking to line up a move on Eaton through the follow through. Oh, Norwich off the track. It might give Eaton a chance to fight back again. Through the chicane. Fergo, big understeer through the long right-hander. Of course, the front-wheel drive cars, they will understeer on these faster corners. Here comes Fergo, big send. He backs it in. And Eaton gives him room. That was a huge send, and he managed to pull it off as well. Don't know how he did it. I don't think he was intending on making a pass there, actually. It was just a case of, oh, he's braking. I better turn this into a passing move. So now Fergo up to 9th. Now back at the front. Tyler Craig and Steve Duro, they're doing battle. As we approach the halfway point of this race. Matt Cotto will lead him to the tune of 3 seconds. Here comes Duro, thinks about a send. He gives space. Craig gives space as well. Good respect between the two of them. And Steve Duro, a brilliant pass for him. Moves himself up into 2nd place. Next driver to line up against Craig will be Cycluna. Just see him looming in the purple Mini. Cycluna, the fastest of these 3 drivers, almost by more than a second. Oh, here comes Cycluna. He absolutely launches it under brakes. Closes right up to the back of Tyler Craig. He's now showing the nose going into turn number 4. He goes for a big lunge and he will get the move done. There's Rata. I think that was Rata, it was indeed, just getting out of the way of our leaders. See if Duro and Cycluna can make a dent in Matt Cotter's sizable lead. Jump back on board with Craig. He's got a good run out of the chicane. Up into the stadium section. He's going to have to be pretty brave here to outbrake Cycluna. In fact, Cycluna drives in a little bit too deep. But Craig not able to do anything with it. But Cycluna still going a little bit defensive through the final corner. There's a little bit of drive. A 16.7 now for Matt Cotto. Fastest lap of the race. And he is almost a full second faster than Steve Duro and these other 2 drivers behind him. Speaking of 3-way battles, we got one here. Eaton, Fergo and Richards again. So Fergo and Eaton, I don't know what's happened, but Matt Richards has closed right onto the back of these guys. In fact, Richards pulls out of the slipstream down the front straight and he will sneak into the top 10. In fact, Eaton runs very deep into turn 2. Might give a chance for Richards, but in fact, Richards doesn't quite get a strong exit out of 2. That hands the position back to Fergo. They trade positions again now. This time, Richards gives plenty of room. It costs him a little bit of exit speed, and Fergo will take that position back. Brilliant racing from these 3 drivers. Now, Richards grabs the grass on the entry. Somehow he's kept that car facing the right direction. Through the chicane we go. Oh, Fergo running out of road there. And they're side by side again. Oh, it's great racing between these guys. Jump on board with Fergo now. As Matt Richards slides into our picture there. That was close there. Fergo almost centre punching Richards into the final corner. Chris Monroe's quietly managed to sneak into the top 5. He's just dispatched Josh Hill. And Hill now 1 position ahead of our man Steve Marsden. So if you... Oh no, who... Did I just hear someone bin it? I'm not seeing anyone's name in red. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, it's a Boris. He's facing the wrong direction. He's going to get out of the way, though. Oh, no, Juro's around. So, Steve Juro, he has binned it at the chicane. Has he got a puncture? That car is, oh, no. Car's looking okay. Must have just made a mistake going into the back chicane. Maybe a bit of contact with Cycluna, I don't know. But, oh, here we go. So here we go. Now, who put the 500 points on Marsden? Oh, Justin. Oh, here we go. Big slide for Marsden. He gives a little hip and shoulder to Hill. And he has taken 5th place away from Josh Hill. So Hill loses another position, our early race leader. And Steve Marsden now ahead with 4 minutes 50 left on the clock. Justin might get some luck going his way for a change. Tip it through the chicane, left and right. Hill's desperately trying to cling onto the back of Marsden. I think Marsden will just start to skip away now. We hear Hill hard on the limiter. And it looks as though Marsden is just starting to gap Hill convincingly. So he goes to put a lap down on, I want to say, Jack Ferguson. We've still got a battle here. Matty Richards is closed onto the back of Eaton, going into turn number 2. Back through the gears, down to 3rd gear. Good drive out of the corner for Eaton. Starts to open up, put a little bit of air between himself and Richards. Oh, we got a car facing the wall. And that's all the opportunity that Richards needs. That would have absolutely shocked Eaton. And Richards makes a great pass. He takes full advantage of the car in the fence. I think that was Jack Ferguson. They slap the curbs going through the chicane. Matt Cotto again. Fastest lap, 16.6. So the torpedo, he has launched. And he is gone. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Your leader is Matt Cotto. He has got a commanding lead, almost 10 seconds between himself and Daniel Socluna in second. Oh, car on the fence. That's it's a Boris. He's binned it on the final corner. Still learning his way through sim racing, I'd say. Oh, Eaton has binned it. Oh, he has dropped the outside wheel, coming through the follow through. And he will drop out of the top 10, handing a position to Fergo. I'll tell you what, Matt Richards is on an absolute charge at the moment. He's closing in like nothing else on the back of Ryan Norwich. Unless there was a bit of collision, something happened to Norwich. Minute left on the clock. I would say that Matt Cotto is about to start his final lap. Just find our man Matt Cotto. There he is. And through the final sector of the lap into the stadium. Chris Monroe also closing in on the back of Tyler Craig. It'll be a great result for Chris Monroe and a memorable one for him if he can get onto the podium. I want to say that Monroe got involved in the first lap chaos. Back Dura now around Hill. He's back into 6th. Oh, we got a good battle. Oh, hip and shoulder there between Norwich and Richards. So that Richards got a good run out of up towards the final corner, and he just ended up on the wrong side of the track. We'll join that battle a little bit later because our leader, Matt Cotto, is coming through the final section. Oh, they're still side by side, actually, Norwich and Richards. The side by side going towards turn number 4. Richards on the right side of the track, and he will take 8th place away from Ryan Norwich. And anyway, we're going to focus on Matt Cotto as he approaches the final corner. Chris Monroe is actually looking up the inside of Tyler Craig going into the stadium section as we speak. But Matt Cotto is the winner of race number 2. Well done, Matt Cotto. Here we go, Tyler Craig has had to go defensive for Chris Monroe. Monroe tips it in anyway. Tries to take it around the outside of Craig. They're side by side coming down the front straight. I think Monroe's going to get it. Chris Monroe gets 3rd place. Right on the line. Absolutely nothing between himself and Tyler Craig. What a finish. Someone clip that, please. Stephen Marsden home in 5th. Oh, Tyler's going to be absolutely devastated with that. Look at the margin, 0.000. That's going down to tens of thousands of a second. Richards has come out on top over Ryan Norwich. Not seeing any other close battles. As we have our celebratory reverse donuts at turn number 2. Oh, we're starting to get a few Olympic rings forming there, or maybe Audi logos. Oh, they do really good burnouts in reverse. So now let's hand out some channel points. Oh, and we're also playing 10-pin bowling as well. So, Stephen Marsden finishing up on top over Josh Hill. So, there's some points there for JR Drives. 510 channel points for him, in fact. Well done. All right, let's wrap up this second race, then we'll go through a few highlights. So, Nat Cotto, your winner of race number 2, ahead of Daniel Cicluna. Maybe a question mark over Cicluna, but unsure. We'll have a look at some of the replays from that race. Chris Monroe. Oh, look at that. Look at that gap. 0.04 of a second between Monroe and Tyler Craig as they went over the line. So, heartbreak for Tyler Craig. He did really well defending. But Craig, unfortunately, only able to manage 4th. Steve Marsden in 5th. Steve Duro. Something happened to Duro coming into the back chicane, and he dropped down to 7th, but he manages to recover to 6th. Josh Hill in 7th after leading the race early on. Matty Richards 8th. Ryan Norridge 9th. Virgo 10th. Over the page, John Eaton and Shane Poole in 11th, 12th respectively. Johns in 13th. Damon McIntosh in 14th. Dylan Woods, a top 15 for him in his first appearance at AK Racing. Jai Rada in 16th. Jack Ferguson 17th. And Itza Boris coming home in 18th. I think some great improvements for Boris, actually. He certainly didn't finish multiple laps down this evening. So, well done to Itza Boris. Quickly just change over our screens and we'll start getting some replays loaded up so we can have a look at what actually happened in that race that we probably missed. And we're also going to be joined in commentary for the highlights by Tyler Craig again. Let's see if we have Tyler on the line. Tyler, are you there?
Yes, I am.
God, heartbreak there, mate.
0.015 seconds on the line.
Yep, we actually caught that live, and well, on the timing tower, it actually said 0.000. That is
Jesus Christ.
Yes, that's it. That is one sentence that we can use to describe that. Let's also get a screen share happening for you, so you can actually see what we're looking at. Yep, that looks like it's about right. Now, there was a lot of chaos at turn number 2 in race number 1. We'll try and find what on earth happened apart from 5 or 6 people wide. Here we go. Found something. I see someone absolutely yeeting it around the outside there. I think that might be Steve Duro there in the teal-coloured. No, Duro's on the inside. He's always got his headlights on. So, we have one car just running a little bit too deep. Gives it a little bit of a nudge, and that's just caused a bit of a domino effect. And,
oh, Jesus.
Yep. That's a bin. That is a bin. Decent bin. Decent bin.
I thought it was clean
one
through
bin.
turn 1.
Yeah. Oh, it was clean through turn 1. This is turn 2.
Yeah, whatever. The first proper turn.
Well, we had a bit of an argument about that in the second race because we didn't even get to turn 1 and there was absolute chaos. And well, the
I've
wording.
actually got a good view of that.
Still going on here. I think a little bit of silliness going on here. I mean, you got to turn left at some point. You can't just keep driving through like that. That's
I mean, he is, and he's committed, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's a I don't know who that is. But yeah, I think yeah, and we got I think we had one car just facing the wrong way at the end of all that. I don't really remember too much else happening in race number 1. There is something I do want to have a look at in race number 2 because something happened to Steve Duro. He was in second and then
Oh yeah,
suddenly he
I saw
wasn't.
what happened there. I wasn't too far behind him, so him and Cicluna, they were battling, and then it's a Boris kind of collected them.
Oh, we'll have a look. We'll have a look at what happened. Bullermeister, yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. That's one way to put it. Interesting accident avoidance there in turn 2, sorry, in race 1.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to know what on earth has happened in at the start of this race because something has happened. Someone hasn't gotten away real strong.
I actually have a really good view from it from where I was.
Yeah,
I
so
was
one
pretty
car
much in the middle of it.
So one car didn't get away real well. Oh, yeah. That is a golden bin, right? Oh, and it's still going on up ahead. And oh, geez, that's silly. Try and work out what on earth has gone on here.
If you go on board with me, it's pretty much right directly in front of me how it started.
Well, there we go. We got someone trying to reenact Moses and parting the sea. It hasn't quite gone to plan because the sea went the opposite direction. And we've got cars going left and right. Whoever this is in the pink Mini has absolutely read that with perfection. He's just driven straight through the lot of them. Oh my gosh, that is... yeah, that's a golden bin. I'll give that one gold bin. I don't know who that was. A yellow Mini. That was probably Matty Richards. Symphony.
What the hell?
Yep. It's still going on. We've still got cars going left and right. Decent avoidance here. That blue Mini just absolutely piled through there. No brakes. Throw no brakes on this Mini. All right. Let's bring up Sarah Carcel and we'll try and find out what has happened to the binomial Eagle. So, let's see where he... So he's right behind you. There we go. He's past you there.
Might be a lap or two after this.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah,
Okay, yep. So, yep, absolute accidental there from... he probably had no chance. So, yep. It's frustrating, but... and he just couldn't find reverse, and he couldn't get out of the nightmare that is the escape road there. That's racing. Yeah, I agree. That's racing, and I'll give out an apology to Cycluna. I thought he may have been involved in that, but he absolutely picked his way through that perfectly. I'll give that a single bin, just a regular bin. Now, sorry to do this to you, Tyler, but we're gonna have to have a look at this final lap for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Can we maybe finish it off with something I did good?
Well, I don't think you did anything wrong on this lap.
Yeah, I know that, but like something that I did that looked good.
Well, this will look good because it was good defense. It was good racing. It was just whatever it was. Monroe just simply got better drive than you out of the final corner.
Yeah, I do admit I didn't have the right gear ratios all race. Like I could constantly hear people changing gear earlier or later before me, and they just had better drive overall.
Well, we got one car on the fence there. So he's fairly even here. I thought you were going to lose it there. Oh, lap car getting in the way as well.
I was kind of hoping that would go in my favour, which it almost did.
Well, those are the cards you get dealt with, isn't it? UFO and Pro Powers actually for Christmas. Oh my gosh. I thought he was going to try and part the sea there. But, but to your credit, you gave him plenty of space as well. I think a lot of people would have chopped the nose off there.
Yeah, I've got the heli courser up, so
Yep.
that helps.
And then it's... Hang on a second. Off. I'll tell you what. Oh, you can't need it to be a couple of meters a little bit longer. Oh, man. That's rough. Who else can we have a look at? Because there was someone else who binned it nice and proper. I want to say it was Eaton. And it was a little bit earlier, just before that lap. Was it Eaton or was it Johns? I can't remember. I really should be taking notes. This looks like it. So this was a bit of a common mistake that a few drivers were making. I would say that Johnny has gotten a little bit too wide. He's caught the edge of the curb and around he's gone. And that's very easy to do with these cars. The short wheelbase makes them just so over-responsive that once they step out on you, it's very hard to gather it up. But yeah, we saw plenty of that. I'll give that a... I think that's a bin. I think that's a bin. Just a single bin though, not a huge bin.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, let's. We're right on board with John. He's gonna hate me for this, I reckon. We're going through his accident in autistic detail. So he just runs a little bit too deep into the first left-hander, and then just there. So easy to do. So, frustrating accident there for Johnny Eaton. But well, race number 2, driver of the race was Matt Cotto. But God, who are we going to give driver of the race to for the whole evening? Chat, feel free to jump in on that one. There were good battles up and down the field. It was relatively clean, except for the starts.
Could I possibly look at the lap 1 of race 2 on board with me? Because gee, that went too well for me, I reckon.
All right, well, let's have a look. So talk us through this actually, Tyler.
So I start in second gear because I like to give a bit of wheel spin and it grips up better. So you see second gear on the dash.
You know, I used to do that in one of the old arcade racing games as well.
Yeah, so we're going through. I see a bit of carnage and I almost plow in with them, but I got through.
That was an almighty start.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of weaving through here. Go down the inside because, you know.
Yeah, of course. That, a bit of hip and shoulder there. That looked like it's a Boris and someone else. And then we got cars going around left, right, and so. Oh my gosh. That is a decent bin. Wow, I missed that. So that would have been it. Was that It's a Boris? I don't think it was It's a Boris actually. Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it was. So who was it that he was nudging with? Got to find out who it is now. It wasn't Cyclona. It wasn't Johns. Oh, was it? It wasn't Rata, was it? No, it wasn't. Norwich, Richards. No, Richard. What happened there, Matty?
Huh.
Yeah. Marsden, McIntosh. Oh, jeez. It was Dylan Woods. Okay. Yeah. I think just a little bit of hip and shoulder going on over here. Yeah, just probably lost where Boris was. Whoa, we got cars going sideways behind him, and then we got one car sent around. Who was that?
It's still going.
It's still going. It was Jack Ferguson. Oh. Reverse 180 driver of the race. Yep. Yeah, I think it started to look a little bit more like Wreckfest more than a set of Corsa then, didn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Geez, Golden Bin. That'll be race 2, the start. That was a fairly decent bin. Let's find out what it looked like on a few people's perspective. I have a feeling that Pool actually got a decent start as well. Then we got, did he? Oh, he didn't quite get through. Oh. Oh, we got cars going left, right, and jeez. Oh, wow. He's wow. He almost pulled that off. Well, there's no secrets underneath that car, at least. So I'm seeing Matty Richards in there somewhere. We've got grass going everywhere for some reason. He's gone. Has he? Did he just go underneath? I have a feeling that he has gone underneath Matty Richards here. What's the bet he has? He has.
Probably,
He
yeah.
absolutely has. Look at that.
Oh,
look at that. That is you know what?
Takes effort to get that much air.
That is the golden bin moment there. So, in fact, I'll give that 2 golden bins.
Surely we have to give him award of the season for that.
Yep, and actually, Chris Monroe brings up a good point. He did a backflip, so that is golden bin there. Chris Monroe, the golden bin. So hang on, we're right on board with him. Let's see what. Just wrong place, wrong time, backflip, and still gets hit again. Oh my god!
You almost kept going.
That is golden bin of the night. So yeah, well done, Chris. And I would say after that, he still gets onto the podium. I think that should be driver of the night.
Probably.
Yeah.
Even if it was the cost of my podium, but
yeah. Well, sorry, mate. So can I still count you coming into the commentary box? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The friendship is over. Okay, I think we should probably think about wrapping this stream up. So, as I said a little bit earlier in the stream, we are bringing on a new league on Tuesday night, being the Shakedown Sim Racing ACC GT3 Series. So make sure you hit the follow button, maybe hit the subscribe button if you want. If you think we're doing a good enough job here, yeah, give me money. I like money. Or don't. I don't care. And then, yeah, basically join us on Tuesday night around 7 o'clock. That's when we'll probably start going live. We'll be back on Friday night for GT Club as well. Ruka, there you go. Subscription. Another 21 months. 21 month streak there. Thank you very much, Ruka. Much appreciated. Let's see. Just a reminder that we've got some events coming up. The second edition of the Shipbox Rallycross Night on Wreckfest, 5th of February. That will be broadcast here as well, so I'm looking forward to that one. Then we also have a different event on a set of Corsa, being the touring car double header. Start off British touring cars, move on to V8 supercars, 2 20-minute races, sprint races. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure you get involved with that one. And then, if I'm not mistaken, let's see if I can't find the calendar for the V8 Supercars, because that is starting very soon. The 13th of February, that is the first round of the new season of V8 Supercars with AK Racing. That is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that one. And Tyler, you'll be taking part in that one too.
Yep.
Yeah, so feeling confident?
I mean, I've done a few laps around Hidden Valley, and not too confident at the moment, no.
No, well, still got time. Still got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hit the practice. tell you what, I've been hitting the practice a lot lately too, because we're racing Octane on Wednesday night around Monza, ACC. I'm like a second off the pace.
Just cut the first chicane.
Don't think that works. Don't think that works.
Just make it work.
Yeah. The thing is, the Octane Racing is actually following this channel. They'll see that. They'll know that that's my plan now.
He follows the rules.
Yeah. Miles, everything works perfectly over here. We don't cheat. Promise.
We are professional.
Professional racers. Professional sim racers. So, yeah, get the practice in. You'll get there. Anyway, I think we'd better wrap this stream up, actually. Because that was a wild night. That was very wild.
Carnage induced.
Carnage induced. Yeah, there's a lot of carnage there. Let's see. So, we'll sign off here. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're on YouTube watching this, hope you've enjoyed the late race broadcast. If you want to see us live, jump over to Twitch, because that's where we do this stuff. And then you can join the chat, because chat is crazy at the moment. It's good. I like it. All right, then. We will sign off here. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much to Tyler for jumping in the commentary box when he can.
No worries.
Yeah. We will see you on Tuesday night for Shakedown Sim Racing. All right, then. See you later.